For many years, bears have been regarded as symbols of deep forests, places where humans are merely passing visitors. But as the boundary between residential areas and the wild gradually narrows, the presence of bears is no longer rare. They move along forest edges, cross cornfields, and rummage through trash bins behind storage sheds. As the frequency of encounters increases, the question is no longer whether, but how to control. In field management, the most important factor is not immediate reaction, but understanding behavior. Bears do not move aimlessly. They remember the scent of food, safe trails, the location of water sources, and even areas where they previously encountered no obstacles. If an individual has repeatedly approached residential areas without facing clear barriers, it will return. And with each return, the distance between humans and wildlife shortens by another step. Therefore, the solution does not lie in scattered pursuit. It begins with systematic observation. Footprints impressed in damp soil, claw marks on tree trunks, overturned trash bins, or patches of disturbed ground near livestock enclosures all constitute data. Management teams must record the time of appearance, direction of movement, and estimated size of the individual. Only when the behavioral picture is fully assembled should a trapping plan be considered.
You guys want to see it ripping apart on the pond.
Bear trapping in a modern context is not a tool of confrontation, but a purpose-built control device. The core principle is to minimize panic, avoid unnecessary injury, and ensure safety for the surrounding area. Before installation, the location must be carefully selected, distant from direct residential zones, spacious enough for safe operation, and positioned along the bear's habitual travel route. One of the common models is a remotely controlled trap activation system. Instead of relying entirely on mechanical mechanisms, modern devices often integrate surveillance cameras and motion sensors. During the initial days, the trap may remain open, serving only to monitor the bear's response to the bait. This phase helps determine the most consistent time of approach while preventing activation before safety conditions are fully met. The bait used must also be calculated carefully. Not all types of food are appropriate. The objective is not to attract multiple other animals, but to recreate a familiar scent that the bear has previously sought near residential areas. Once the individual has become accustomed to the trap structure and no longer perceives it as a threat, activation is carried out. The closing speed must be fast enough to ensure control, yet not so forceful as to cause injury. After the trap is activated, the subsequent handling process becomes the most critical stage. The surrounding area must be temporarily secured. Professional teams approach in a manner that limits further stimulation. All procedures must comply with local wildlife management regulations. In many cases, the individual will be tagged for monitoring before being relocated to a more suitable area, where natural food sources are abundant and human contact is limited. It must be emphasized that trapping is only one component of a broader strategy. Effective management requires coordination among farmers, local authorities, and conservation forces. Low-voltage electric fencing, wildlife-resistant trash containers, and community outreach all play essential roles.
On projects just like this.
Electric fence.
When properly implemented, bear traps are not symbols of confrontation, but instruments of balance. They represent an approach grounded in behavioral understanding, monitoring technology, and community responsibility. In a context where habitats increasingly overlap, thorough preparation and scientific control are the keys to minimizing risk. Ultimately, the most important factor lies not in the trap itself, but in how humans perceive their role within the ecosystem. When it is understood that every intervention leaves a lasting imprint, setting a trap is no longer a hasty act, but a calculated step. Only then can the balance between deep forests and residential areas be sustainably maintained. Mornings in remote forested mountain areas, far from human settlements, often begin in deep quiet. Thin mist hangs lightly among the treetops, the ground remains damp after a long night, and the forest seems as though it is still asleep. Yet within that stillness, large footprints pressed clearly into the soft earth have appeared. They point to a reality that is becoming increasingly evident. Bears are moving closer to human living spaces. For decades, bears have been symbols of the deep wilderness. They roamed across vast territories, keeping their distance from human communities. However, as forests shrink, natural food sources decline, and human activity pushes deeper into nature, the boundary between these two worlds begins to blur. Bears are not invading villages. They are simply trying to survive. In rural and mountainous regions, Bears are often drawn by the scent of easily accessible food. Crops, livestock enclosures, garbage bins, and even food storage areas can become targets. As a result, unwanted encounters are increasing, raising a critical question. How can conflict be reduced while still protecting both people and wildlife? Within this context, bear traps emerge as a necessary management solution, not as a means of eliminating bears, but as a way to control, monitor, and rebalance the relationship between humans and nature. Contrary to common negative perceptions, modern trapping systems are designed with the goal of minimizing harm to animals. Setting a trap does not begin with metal or mechanical mechanisms. It begins with understanding. Wildlife management teams must carefully study bear movement patterns, commonly used routes, feeding times, and their reactions to human-made environments. Each forest area, each bear population, has its own unique characteristics. Traps are typically placed at strategic locations. Familiar trails, areas bears repeatedly return to, or points where they access human food sources. The bait scent is not intended to provoke aggression, but to mimic natural food sources so bears approach calmly, without fear or stress. When a bear enters a trap, the most important priority is to prevent panic. Modern designs emphasize sufficient space, avoid sharp edges, and minimize physical impact. The goal is to keep the bear in a stable condition until specialized teams arrive. Once the bear is safely secured, the next steps are not rushed. Experts assess the animal's health, determine its age and sex, and evaluate how well it has adapted to human environments. This data plays a crucial role in developing long-term management strategies. In many cases, bears are fitted with tracking devices before being relocated to more suitable habitats. This allows researchers to gain deeper insights into movement behavior, territorial range, and how bears respond after intervention. This is not the end of a process, but the beginning of long-term scientific observation. Bear traps are not the only solution, but they are an important component of a comprehensive management system. When combined with community education, improved food storage practices, and thoughtful land use planning, the number of conflicts can be significantly reduced. What matters most is a shift in perspective. Bears are not intentional threats. They are responding to changes created by humans. When used for the right purpose, traps become tools for reducing tension rather than escalating conflict. In many places, results have already shown a clear difference. The number of bears returning to residential areas has gradually declined. Residents feel safer. And most importantly, bears continue to exist within their ecosystems, not removed from the natural landscape. When nature loses its balance, solutions do not lie in extreme reactions, but in understanding and planned management. Keeping people safe, protecting bears, and maintaining ecosystem stability. These are the true goals behind every trap placed deep within the forest. For decades, bears were seen as symbols of wilderness, living deep in dense forests and rarely encountering humans. Today, however, in many rural areas, that boundary is gradually fading. Bears no longer appear only in remote forests. They are moving closer to farms, village roads, and residential areas. The early signs are often subtle. A trash bin overturned during the night. A fence slightly bent, as if something very heavy had leaned against it. Large footprints pressed deep into damp soil, appearing and disappearing before the sun rises. Without ever seeing a bear, residents know one thing for certain: the bears are very close. The issue is not aggression. The issue is habit. When natural food sources decline, or when the scent of human food becomes familiar, bears begin to alter their movement patterns. Once they learn an easier route, they return. And with each return, the level of risk increases. Hasty reactions in such situations rarely lead to positive outcomes. Direct attempts to drive bears away can cause panic, triggering unpredictable behavioral changes. As a result, instead of confrontation, many regions have chosen a different approach: controlled trapping, carried out with planning, monitoring, and clearly defined objectives. Bear traps are not random tools. Each trap is placed based on careful observation of behavior and physical signs. Before a trap is installed, the area is usually monitored for days, sometimes weeks. Claw marks on tree trunks, disturbed soil, overturned rotting logs, all of these form a map of the routes bears leave behind. Selecting the trap location is a critical factor. Traps are not placed in crowded areas, nor directly beside residential zones. They are typically set along natural movement corridors, places bears already know and where they feel secure. The goal is not to force attraction, but to allow bears to enter a space that feels familiar in scent and path. Bait is prepared with care. Stronger smells are not necessarily better. Overly intense scents can make bears wary. Instead, bait usually consists of food sources bears are accustomed to finding in the wild, arranged so that the bear must move fully into the trap area to access it. The entire trapping system is designed to function in a stable and controlled manner. Trap doors close only when the bear's weight and position are appropriate. This helps prevent false triggers and minimizes risks to other wildlife species. Surveillance cameras and motion sensors play a crucial role in this process. Rather than relying on constant manual checks, managers can monitor activity remotely. Every movement, every approach by a bear is recorded. This allows strategies to be adjusted in time, instead of responding too late. When a trap is activated, the next stage is not an ending, but another phase of management. Bears are kept in a safe condition, with stress minimized as much as possible. All procedures are carried out by trained professionals, with the ultimate goal of reducing conflict between bears and humans. Most importantly, traps are not used indiscriminately. They are only one component of a long-term strategy. Alongside trapping are waste management, food source protection, reinforcement of livestock enclosures, and changes in human habits. Without addressing the root causes, traps remain only a temporary solution. In many places, the results are clear. When movement corridors are managed and bears can no longer easily access human food sources, the frequency of appearances gradually declines. No confrontation is needed. No chaos is required. Only a correct understanding of behavior and intervention at the right time. Ultimately, control does not mean elimination. It is a quiet adjustment, built on knowledge, patience, and responsibility. When used properly, bear traps do not diminish wilderness. They allow it to exist alongside human life within a more sustainable order. Hello, are you ready to explore the mysterious land of Florida? Gunshots echo through dense forests as humans face an escalating challenge: the growing presence of bears in suburban areas. How can a wild species that once lived deep in the wilderness now encroach so closely on urban boundaries? And can people protect their homes while still respecting the natural ecosystem? In Florida, long regarded as the territory of black bears, the sudden rise in individuals with brown-colored fur has sparked widespread panic. In 2024 alone, more than 200 homes were reported to have been invaded by bears, causing damages amounting to millions of dollars. Many grocery stores were forced to close temporarily, while residents lived under constant anxiety. Notably, this situation does not stem from environmental degradation, but largely from human activity itself. Illegal wildlife trade and the relocation of bears from other regions have inadvertently turned Florida into a new habitat for them. In emergency situations, contacting wildlife control authorities remains the safest option. A major turning point in efforts to reduce human-bear conflict came from behavioral research. In 2023, Florida widely implemented bear-resistant trash cans. Initially, 90% of the prototype designs failed, but improved versions have now achieved a 65% success rate after withstanding rigorous 60-minute tests involving adult bears. These trash cans are especially critical because Florida bears can weigh an average of around 270 kilograms, possessing remarkable strength and intelligence. A dual-latch locking mechanism requiring simultaneous actions, beyond the bear's capability, combined with high-strength composite materials, significantly limits their access to human food sources. However, this solution alone is not sufficient. The bear's rapid adaptability has compelled Florida to adopt a multifaceted management strategy. In 2015, the state implemented a tightly controlled bear hunt. With a quota of 304 individuals out of a population exceeding 3,500, authorities ensured that the bear population remained stable. The numbers reveal a concerning trend. From approximately 300 individuals in the 1970s, Florida's bear population surpassed 4,000 by 2023. Female bears give birth to 1 to 3 cubs per litter, with a reproductive cycle of about 2 years, causing rapid population growth, particularly in northern and central Florida. These bears often travel along forest corridors and wetlands. They venture deep into residential areas in search of food. Tracking them requires field experience and in-depth knowledge. Seasoned hunters can identify footprints, droppings, and signs of damage to determine their movement routes. Florida law strictly limits bear hunting to designated areas such as the Ocala National Forest. Hunters must maintain a safe distance of 50 to 100 yards, ensuring control of the situation while reducing the risk of sudden encounters. Experts strongly advise against running if confronted by a bear, as they can reach speeds of up to 35 miles per hour. The baiting strategy, implemented since 2015, has increased hunting success rates to around 70%. Bait is placed at elevated positions and combined with scents such as molasses, sweet corn, and rotting fish, keeping bears in a fixed area and allowing hunters to prepare with precision. In the dense forests of Ocala, each hunt is not only a test of skill, but also a measure of responsibility. Hunters are permitted to target only mature bears, strictly avoiding pregnant females or those caring for cubs. After the hunt, they are responsible for making full use of the harvest, demonstrating respect for the life that was lost. In Florida, bear hunting is not merely a confrontation. It is a fragile balance between humans and nature, where every decision carries long-term consequences for this unique ecosystem. A giant bear collapsed after a gunshot echoed through the silent forest. Yet what left many people wondering was not the shot itself, but the question behind it. Why are black bears increasingly appearing as invaders in residential areas, destroying property and threatening human lives? If you want to understand the real reasons, follow this story. In recent years, across many parts of the United States, black bears have become a growing threat to retail stores and residential neighborhoods. They do more than rummage through trash bins. They break doors, enter homes, and cause serious damage to goods, disrupting business operations. According to reports, in the first 6 months of 2021 alone, more than 120 incidents of black bears breaking into stores were recorded in states such as Colorado, California, and New York, with total damages estimated at up to $300,000. In California specifically, many shop owners were forced to temporarily close their businesses due to repeated bear intrusions, leading to a sharp decline in customer numbers and significant economic losses. Local residents say that black bears are appearing more frequently in residential areas. In some places, they enter homes, soil household items, and destroy property. Fortunately, most incidents have not resulted in injuries or fatalities, but fear remains ever present. Reduce the risks. Authorities advise residents to avoid leaving garbage and food outdoors, use bear-resistant trash bins, and apply safety measures when living near black bear habitats. However, police continue to receive frequent calls reporting bear intrusions, indicating that preventive measures are still not sufficiently effective. In response to the situation, some licensed hunters have been authorized to participate in black bear population control. However, black bears are large animals, weighing between 200 and 600 pounds, and hunting near residential areas carries significant risks, potentially endangering residents and public safety. Aware of these risks, the California government has issued strict regulations. Black bear hunting is completely prohibited in densely populated areas and is only permitted in designated wilderness zones. The official hunting season takes place in the fall, from September to December each year, a period when bears are actively storing food for winter, causing them to move more frequently and become easier to locate. Each licensed hunter is allowed to harvest only a limited number of bears to ensure that population control does not negatively impact the ecosystem. Illegal hunting or the use of bears for personal purposes is strictly prohibited, with rigorous monitoring and severe penalties in place. And practice. Hunters often focus on bears that are preoccupied with feeding, which helps improve accuracy and reduce risks. They also use calling devices that simulate the sounds of prey or bear cubs to lure bears closer. Statistics show that this method can increase target accessibility by up to 70%. Tracking black bears is far from simple. Hunters must carefully examine the ground for droppings and footprints and use binoculars to determine movement directions. Many have shared that they spent several days walking miles without finding any signs at all. Hunters receive extensive training in black bear behavior and commonly use Springfield 30-06 rifles, which have an effective range of 200 to 300 yards. When used correctly, this firearm is capable of taking down a target with very high accuracy. However, the number of rifles and hunting permits issued each season is strictly limited. After each hunt, data on the size and characteristics of the bear are collected and reported to authorities. This helps ensure that hunting activities remain sustainable, reducing risks to humans while protecting bear populations in the wild. And the next part, we will explore new and less risky methods for dealing with black bears. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, share the video, and leave your comments below. For many decades, black bears lived deep within the forest, rarely appearing near humans. But in recent years, that boundary has gradually blurred. Trash bins are overturned, gardens disturbed, livestock pens forced open after a single quiet night. As encounters become more frequent, communities are compelled to seek a more proactive solution. Not confrontation, but control. The starting point lies not in action, but in observation. Bears do not move randomly. They have strong memories, can recall food sources, and often return to locations that once provided benefits. Bears appear at nearly fixed time frames, often skirting the forest edge, avoiding overly open areas and approaching from directions with ample cover. Claw marks on tree trunks, deep footprints pressed into damp soil, and overturned logs in search of insects become a detailed behavioral map. Once movement patterns are identified, the control plan begins to be implemented. Instead of using highly disruptive measures, the team selects a targeted trapping system designed to leverage the bear's own habits. Unlike older approaches based on immediate reaction, this method aims for selective control, reducing risks for both humans and animals. The first step is site assessment. The selected area is neither close to residential homes nor too deep in the forest, but at an intermediate point where bears typically pause before entering populated zones. Sturdy steel posts are driven deep into the ground to create a fixed framework. Reinforced mesh is stretched around the perimeter, though not immediately activated. In the initial phase, the structure remains open, with bait placed at the center to allow the bears to grow accustomed to it. The bait used is not unfamiliar food, but natural sources such as ripe fruit or lightly fermented grains. The key factor is not quantity, but placement. The bait is positioned deep inside the trap area, requiring the bear to step fully inside to access it. Throughout the entire process, safety remains the top priority. The distance from residential areas to the trap site is sufficient to minimize the risk of unexpected encounters. A remote alert system enables the control team to monitor the status in real time. When the trap is activated, the specialized team promptly arrives to carry out the next steps in accordance with local regulations. After being stabilized within the controlled space, the bear's health condition is assessed. Some individuals may be fitted with tracking devices before being released back into deeper forest areas where contact with humans is less likely. In special cases, authorities may relocate them to suitable conservation areas. The objective is not elimination, but behavioral adjustment and the re-establishment of a safe distance. The targeted trapping method represents a significant shift in how humans interact with wildlife. Instead of reacting after damage has occurred, communities move toward proactive, data-driven management. Each footprint, each claw mark, each camera sighting becomes valuable information. As a result, control is no longer a single action, but a systematic process. In many rural areas, residents are gradually recognizing that ecological balance does not sustain itself without appropriate management. When artificial food sources are too easily accessible, bears adapt quickly. Therefore, alongside trap deployment, preventive measures are strengthened. Bear-resistant trash bins, reinforced livestock feed storage, and low-voltage electric fencing installed around orchards. As night falls and the forest edge grows quiet, the system continues operating silently. No noise, no display. Only careful preparation grounded in observation and data. In a context where the boundary between wilderness and residential areas is steadily narrowing, this scientific and humane approach is gradually becoming the new standard for bear management, a necessary step to protect both the community and the ecosystem. With their overwhelming strength and remarkable adaptability, bears have become a major challenge for many rural areas and forest regions bordering human settlements. As natural habitats shrink and food sources in the wild decline, bears are forced to expand their range of activity.
No, look at the bear, Sadie. He's walking.
Oh my gosh, it's a bear. Oh my God. Are those bears?
They begin appearing near farms, landfills, food storage areas, and even residential neighborhoods, causing significant damage to agriculture and infrastructure while increasing risks to people. In many parts of North America, bears are not seen as an isolated issue but as part of a broader ecological balance. However, when bear populations exceed natural thresholds, interactions between humans and wildlife become more frequent. Crop damage, overturned garbage bins, intrusions into barns, and food storage facilities are occurring more often, pushing wildlife managers to seek long-term and effective solutions. Rather than relying on short-term responses, modern bear trapping systems have been developed with the goal of responsible population control, isolation, and management. These traps are not intended to cause harm, but are designed to hold bears within a secure space, allowing controlled human intervention. The process begins with careful study of bear movement patterns. Surveillance cameras and motion sensors are installed to identify familiar routes, activity periods, and feeding habits. Bait typically consists of strong-smelling foods familiar to bears and is placed consistently over several consecutive days. This helps bears develop a sense of safety and familiarity with the trap area. In the initial phase, the trap structure is set up but not activated, reducing the likelihood of alerting the bears. Adult bears, especially larger individuals, tend to be highly cautious. They may approach and observe from a distance for many nights before actually entering. After weeks of monitoring, once all frequently visiting individuals are moving deep into the trap area to feed, the system is activated remotely. The gate closes instantly, isolating the bears within a reinforced enclosure. This ensures comprehensive control and reduces the risk of leaving behind individuals that could return to residential areas. An adult bear can weigh several hundred kilograms and possesses enough strength to destroy standard fencing in a short time. For this reason, bear traps are constructed from high-strength steel, with fully welded frames and deep ground anchoring systems. This design ensures safety for both humans and bears during isolation and subsequent handling. Managing bears through trapping not only reduces economic losses, but also plays a vital role in protecting ecosystems. Bears can carry pathogens and parasites that pose risks to livestock and domestic animals. Timely isolation helps limit the spread of these risks while protecting native wildlife from excessive competition for food and habitat. More importantly, this method allows authorities to assess health conditions, attach tracking devices, or relocate bears to more suitable environments. It represents a science-based approach that prioritizes long-term balance over immediate reactions. In wildlife management, patience and understanding consistently produce better results than rushed actions. Modern bear traps are not merely control tools but serve as a bridge that helps humans adjust their impact on nature responsibly. Timely and appropriate intervention is the key to protecting agriculture, residential communities, and maintaining the fragile harmony of ecosystems. If you find wildlife management solutions like these necessary and worth sharing, don't forget to like the video to show your support. And if you're interested in stories about nature, agriculture, and how people are striving to protect ecosystems sustainably, be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss upcoming content. For many years, bears were considered animals that lived separately, avoiding humans. But as habitats overlap, unexpected encounters have begun to appear. No longer just brief sightings. There have been situations where bears directly approached people in forests, on trails, even at the edges of residential areas. And in field management, the greatest danger does not lie in the moment the trap is activated. It lies in how the entire area is handled afterward. Bears do not act randomly. They respond to chains of stimuli: scent, movement, sound, spatial memory. If an intervention point is handled without control, that area can become a marker in their behavioral map. An individual that once approached humans without clear resistance may return again. And when bold behavior is not interrupted, the level of risk increases over time. In modern control systems, the goal is not to react after a single incident. The goal is to prevent dangerous behavior from repeating. At forest edges or near hiking routes, infrared cameras and motion sensors are installed to accurately identify individuals showing signs of approaching humans. Correct identification is critical. Not every bear displays dangerous behavior, but an individual that has previously attacked or approached too closely must be handled under a separate protocol. Once the area is confirmed, the control team deploys specialized cage traps or foothold traps with controlled clamping force. The foothold trap is specifically designed to secure a bear's front limb without causing serious harm. Its curved structure, pressure-limiting springs, and safety locking system ensure the animal cannot withdraw its paw. This is not equipment used carelessly. It is placed only at confirmed high-risk locations and always accompanied by remote monitoring. When the target individual steps into the exact position, the automatic mechanism activates, forcing it to stop moving. As soon as the signal is transmitted to the monitoring center, the rapid response team immediately moves to the site. Captured individuals are sedated under standard veterinary procedures and then transported away from the area as quickly as possible. No prolonged noise. No lingering scent or chaotic traces. The entire site is cleaned and restored to a neutral state immediately afterward. If handled carelessly, a trap site can become a memory point in a bear's perception. But if handled correctly, it disappears from their behavioral map. No signal, no confirmation of risk or reward, just an information void. Near residential areas, every action must comply with even stricter regulations. No public gathering. No images spreading panic. No individual left restrained on site for extended periods. The objective is not only to control the immediate situation, but to ensure the location is not remembered as a confrontation point. All captured individuals are transported to designated facilities according to wildlife management regulations. Depending on behavioral assessment and risk level, they may be redirected to appropriate habitats or handled under specialized professional plans. Most importantly, they do not return to their previous location to reinforce human approach behavior. In bear management, success is not measured by the number of traps deployed. It is measured by whether aggressive behavior ceases, whether trails become safe again, whether residents can walk and work outdoors without constant alertness. Traps are only tools. Long-term stability comes from how the entire system is operated, from identification and monitoring to activation, transport, and environmental restoration. When the chain of dangerous behavior is broken, the chain of risk to people ends quietly as well. And the greatest success is when no further attacks occur, when the forest returns to being its natural space, and humans are no longer within reach of uncontrolled behavior.